Good evening, all of you. Today you might not have your geography class. I've got with me AIR 35, Vaibhavi Agarwal. I've called her specifically to. She's here to address the gathering. She'll talk to you about her journey, and she will also specifically show you about how she has made her notes. And she'll also help you in how to make your notes. And I leave the dais to her to talk to you. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. I'm Vaibhavi, and I would like to start with sharing my journey first. So this was my third attempt. So I started my preparation when I was in college in the final year. I graduated in 2023, and thereafter I gave my first attempt. Fortunately, I was able to clear the prelims, and in the mains, my marks were 739. That year, the cutoff was 741, so I couldn't sit for the interview. In my second attempt in 2024, I was not able to clear the prelims. I was very sad after not getting through the prelims, but I think it was blessing in disguise. I utilized those 6 months which I had after my prelims because after analyzing my first attempt's mark sheet, I realized there was gap in my GS preparation and my option, as in the mains preparation overall. For getting the rank, we should have good marks in mains. So I utilized that 6 months. I worked upon each and every aspect from the optional to GS to essay as well. And I think that is why I was able to clear the exam in my third attempt with a rank 35. My marks were in this attempt was 823. My optional is mathematics and my optional mark is 311. So I will first, I will not talk about a lot of things. I just have few points which I think made a lot of difference in my preparation. I will mention those 4-5 points which might be useful to you. So first is, I think, so how many of you have decided your optional? And how many of you, who have not decided? Okay, small. I will cover that aspect as well. So for optional, I think it is very important to, choose the correct optional. Often students go around what is there in the market and what is the perception in the market that optional is better. One should opt that is easy and it's scoring. So I think that one should not do because optional is something which is the major chunk that will get you the rank. Without optional, one cannot, I think in my opinion, one wouldn't be able to get the rank or in the rank list. That is why giving thorough importance to choosing the optional is very important. 2 points should be noted here. So first, I think, is the interest in the subject. First, look what are the options available and see if whether you're interested in that or not, because you will be spending your 50% of your time between whatever the preparation you will be doing for the mains for the optional. So it should be something which you are interested, which you are able to study over and over again for a certain period of time without thinking it as a burden. And that is how you will be able to score good also if you are interested in that subject. So the interest and passion should be there in choosing the optional. Don't look what is the market perception. Choose on your self, reflect about what is your inner self is saying to you. So that is why I chose mathematics as my optional, and I really like the subject. I did not see that it requires a lot of time actually. How many of you have mathematics as optional? Is there anyone? Yeah, there are a few people. Yeah. So I think it's a very scoring subject, mathematics. I took coaching here only from Bhavna ma'am in Vachiram. And I think one should give, my scoring optional was also 311. So I think it was very important in my mains marks that gave me this rank. It's a very major chunk. That is why I'm emphasizing on this part. So these are the two things one should keep in mind. That is the passion and the interest while choosing the optional. So those of you who have not selected, the option which they are taking, they can keep that in mind and choose accordingly. Now I will talk about one by one each and every subject. For example, in the GS 1 to 3, that would be my first section, then GS 4, then essay, then the last part about few other things. सो पहले मैं GS 1 2 3 से स्टार्ट करती हूँ. देखो, सबसे पहले जो नोट्स है हमारे क्लास नोट्स, दैट इज़ द बेस ऑफ एवरीथिंग. रीड द क्लास नोट्स and for the mains best part is that UPSC has specifically given what is the syllabus. Each and every, for GS1, for all the subjects, there is a syllabus written, there are points written, what are the topics which we have to cover is given. So read I will go by an example. Let's say there is a disaster management topic. Read the class note, understand what is the basics, what are the international protocols, what are the laws in the country, what is the policy. Read that and then see the PYQs. What are the questions they are asking? There are very compilation in the internet that on the basis of topics they have given what are the PYQs being asked. For disaster management, for example, where the PYQs can be on the cyclones, can be on the floods, can be earthquake and etc. And made the section accordingly that cyclone is there and what are the class note, that should be our basic. And then do the value addition. The value addition part will be happening through the newspaper or the magazine which we read. Those are very important because we have class notes and the extra marks which we will be getting in the exam will be from the data, the other enrichment points which we will be collecting from other sources. So I think the main process has to be integration of what are our class notes, then the newspaper, PYQs analysis, and one more thing is that answer writing. Don't shy away from writing the answer. Start with, it is often said that the perfect is enemy of good. There will be no perfect time to start the answer writing. So start from day one. Look upon various, model answers in the internet and see what are the other points you could have written there. And if there is any other point which is missing in their note and you think it's worth mentioning because this question can be asked again. For example, there are multiple times cyclones being asked in the PYQ. If you analyze, you will find the pattern, what are they are asking. So it is very important, at least for those kind of topic which are repeating, we should make the enrichment point data, what are the, some same data points where the recent incident happened, some example of how the disaster is being managed. So this kind of some innovative example, this kind of things can be, mentioned in the notes and keep adding on. I will show my notes how, I have prepared it. I have used, I've made notes online. My starting was the Vajiram basics from the class note and then I kept on adding the material from the newspaper and the data and everything I will show. So this is the part for the GS 1 2 3. The integration of class notes, PYQs and answer writing. And newspaper is always integral. Newspaper and magazine is always integral. Right? So this was about the GS 1 2 3. Yeah, one more thing. I did not mention the diagrams and the flow chart. That is also the part of the enrichment points which we will be keep on adding from the newspaper, right, or other sources. Now GS4. GS4, the thing is very similar. We have to go by the handouts which is given in the class. The each and every point which is mentioned in the syllabus, make a particular note. For example, dedication to public service. Read the class notes, understand what is the basics of it, prepare some notes about it, what are the PYQs, analyze that. And then most important thing in ethics is that we should have examples, enrichment, example, case study and quotes. Because many times, so let's say I'm writing some example and everyone is writing a similar example, then it might not look a very good example. We should have something unique, and something unique we can find it from some of you use social media, that is a platform where we can get innovative example. There are many sites like the Better India which keeps on giving the example of civil servants who are doing good in their job. There is I think after some year there is award called Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in Public Administration. Use those examples, collect the quotes for the topics, multiple topics, women, and some good quotes, some famous quotes, and use those things in your answer. Because these are if you are just simply writing in ethics, if you are just simply writing the theory part, it will not fetch you the marks which ethics can offer. For example, 130, 140 is something which we can, goal in the ethics paper. So that can be done through this special example, making your answer stand out. One part which I did not do in my first attempt, and I think that helped me in my third attempt, was that I read some philosophers' theory. For example, Kant's deontology, Rousseau, John Maynard Mill. So this kind of things, this kind of philosophers' theory and their points I have noted, I made some 20-50 keywords. And I used those, let's say 2 keywords in each answer. So that has definitely, I believe that must have helped me get half marks extra in each answer. And those, that really makes a lot of difference. So this is about the theory part, the section A of GS4. And for the GS4 section B, that is the case study, I used Brijesh sir's handout. He gives one handout about how one can, approach the case study. What is the basic structure? For example, there's introduction, then if according to the question, if it's asking for the ethical dilemma, then what are the options available, merits, demerits, and then what is the way forward, and in the end, conclusion. So this is the basic template, how we should write a case study. Now, in case study, I will mention the point which will make you increase the marks. So again, here also, I used philosophers, some keywords which I have mentioned. I have used those specifically in the ethical dilemma part. If something I believe is matching, let's say the deontology says that duty comes first. So those kind of things which we can write in the ethical dilemma part. And in the course of action, while we are justifying why we should be doing this course of action, we can use those keywords. Now, one thing which can fetch you few extra marks is the conclusion. In conclusion, try to, in the case study, now we can collect data or the material, again, like quotes, some real case studies. If there is any case study which is matching some real incident happened, so you can say that this case study is matching with that case study, and we should, and this has happened in this real life incident, and hence this should be the way forward. Something like those. If you connect that with, the real example, that will leave some impression on the examiner. The person who is checking, he will think that this person reads, this is a well-informed person. So that is something which might be useful. Now, for the essay part, there are, so for essay, we should read the topics which are given. I enrolled for Brijesh sir's essay module course. In that, so to approach the essay, I think we should first identify what are the topics being asked in the exam from the previous year papers. For example, this topic media pe kuch questions honge. There will be questions in the healthcare. Nowadays, they are more inclined towards the reflective part or the philosophical essays. But if we analyze past 10 years, then there will be definitely topic upon women, topic upon healthcare and other education sector, international relations, economics. Those kind of topics are also there. So we should be prepared about each and every topic, because we never know what would be the next year's question paper. So for essay, I will give one example how we can, if let's say I'm writing an essay upon women, we should try to incorporate multiple dimensions. For women, there is problem when a girl child is conceived in the for example, the feticide problem. When giving the example about the challenges which one is facing in the childhood. For example, let's say many a times how girl child are not given enough nutrition. So that is also a problem. Now, what are the problems they are facing in getting the education, higher education? Then when they are married, and then after in the workplace, for example, sexual harassment, or women often have to leave the job due to marriage or something. So giving the multiple perspective in the essay is important. It shouldn't revolve around just one perspective. If you give multiple dimension, multiple perspective in an essay, it will look holistic, and the examiner will also think that this person is well informed. And for each and every, you should be able to justify by some anecdote, some data point, or some example. So that should be the approach about how we can write one good essay that can fetch you good marks. Now, one thing which I believe was very instrumental in my preparation is that I read the newspaper diligently each and every day, because I spent a lot of time actually reading newspaper, because when I was reading the newspaper, I was connecting the topic which was in the newspaper. Let's say I'm reading one article. It is about disables, let's say. I will not just read the article, I will think about what are the points which I can extract and write in my notes. I will show how I have incorporated those newspapers material in my notes as well. So that is how we should, I believe that newspaper is very important because I used a lot of material from newspaper in my GS preparation. So in my opinion, one should not leave it. So these are the section. This is GS1. I have made specific notes for social issues. Let's say we go about the social issues. I think so we have, first of all, I have analyzed the PYQs, understood what my first topic is urbanization. If we see the syllabus, there's a topic called urbanization. So I have made that topic. I have written the PYQs, analyzed what are the things they are being asked in the PYQs, And then, this section you can see is about the data. I have collected this data from multiple sources, majorly newspaper. Majorly I've read newspaper, and then incorporating those things in in the notes. Maps and land records, it must be some Niti Aayog's report must be there in the newspaper. I have mentioned that as well. That can be utilized in some or the other answer. Importance and need of the planned urbanization. What are the challenges and issues we are facing? That is the unplanned urbanization. Effects of urbanization. What are the, because there is question about what is the effect of urbanization upon women. It's one of the PYQs. So I've written it upon the women, about what happens. So now the second is about the recommendation, what we can do about it. And this is some report, second year RC report, Niti Aayog report, Smart Cities Mission. I've taken this prints from somewhere. I found those things useful. And some relevant examples from newspaper. Now this is the part I was saying, that in the newspaper we can collect this kind of part and stick it in our notes only. So that way we can have holistic news, this notes thing. Now similarly, this is the salient feature of Indian society and diversity of India in India. So these are the PYQs. I have analyzed those things, and similarly I made the note. Again, same thing. This is this. Now for the diversity, there's in the Vajiram notes itself, the class notes are also defined as when sir teaches or ma'am teaches, they are also in the similar fashion. One day he or she will teach about the one topic, and then those things which we have to catch those things only. My basics were from that, and then the value addition. Manipur violence happened at that time, so in the ST, in the scheduled tribe, I have written those things as well. What are the reason? What is the way forward? What one can do? है ना. उसके बाद इसमें कुछ कमिटी की reports which are important one. If we mention those things, that will be beneficial in the GS papers. Denotified tribes, PVTGs were very popular a few days back. That is why I have written those. What are the PVTGs in our country? So these are the points. There's one initiative I think must have been in the newspaper, one corporate, one village adoption initiative, which I thought that I might mention somewhere. So I have written it here. Similarly for the OBC. So this is in the similar fashion we can create, for all GS1. This is for the GS2. Let's say I will start for I will show one for the judiciary. So this is about the Indian judiciary, some stats and intros. In that I have written some case, what are the pending cases in the judiciary, what is the number of women judges, what is the vacancy. These are the things which we can mention if the question is about that. Representation of various category, what are the criticisms, and these are some recommendation about how around the world what kind of court system. And this also I have taken from the newspaper. Assets of the judges was very popular a few days back in that paper because it was in the current affairs. I have noted it down. This year the collegium system question was asked in 2025. So the relevant articles are there. What are the 3 judges cases, the 99th Constitutional Amendment Act, controversy about NJAC, and what the Supreme Court did. What are the suggestions, what we can do regarding the collegium system, what other countries are doing, what Italy is doing, what US is doing. This is something which I've collected from multiple sources. What is the momentum of procedure, how this thing is happening, this everything. If we write it in one place, this is something which will become, if you can keep on adding your future notes as well. So this is about writing the full, these are my full notes, GS1, 2, GS3, GS4. Now these are some prelims notes as well, I used it. And these are my 2025 final short notes. This I prepared between mains and between prelims and mains during those 2 months interval. So in this I have, let's have tail up. इसमें अब मैंने सिर्फ छोटी-छोटी चीजें जो few pages only, the things which I have written, which I showed, was a very long document. Now this is just 10-20 pages document which I can read just before the examination. So this will not happen in a one day. This short notes will be very, very crisp, very few things which are relevant for the enrichment point only, because when you are revising your notes, you must have revised it so many times that you won't be needing everything written in your short notes. It would be few things only which will be which you can write, the enrichment points only, which will be very useful in your final exam. So this is for the governance part. Similarly, there is for the NGOs part. For vulnerable section, I have written the SDGs there because we can write this in our conclusion or in the intro. For the disabled, these are the data that according to census 2011, 2.2% of the people population is disabled. This kind of things which we can use. These are some UN convention. What is the percentage of the disabled who are worker, who are literates? Those kind of things I've mentioned, and this can be helpful in the very, if we read, if we have this thing handy ना, this comes very naturally in the exam as well. अगर हमारे पास बड़े बड़े नोट्स होंगे तो हम ये सब डेटा यूज भी नहीं कर पाएंगे. मेरे पास ये छोटे नोट्स थे तो मैं इजीली उसको यूज कर पाती थी. एक मेरे पास वो भी था एक अलग से जिसमें आई हैव रिटन जस्ट द सुप्रीम कोर्ट केसेस ऑफ द वेरियस, फॉर एग्जांपल फॉर द प्रियम्बल व्हाट आर द सुप्रीम बेरी बारू केस, वो वाली चीज़ें, वो सब चीज़ें एक केसेस का एक डॉक्यूमेंट बना लो एंड सब चीज़ों जो भी टॉपिक है उनके लिए डॉक्यूमेंट बना लो. फॉर GS2 इट्स मोस्टली द केसेस. सो केसेस का एक जिससे पॉलिटी पार्ट कवर हो जाएगा वो वाला. तो ये हेल्थ पे इसमें भी कुछ डेटा, ऑल तो मेरे थोड़े डेटा ज़्यादा हैं, मुझे बाद में मतलब इसमें इतना रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होता, मैंने थोड़े ज़्यादा कलेक्ट कर रखे थे तो आई हैव रिटन दोज थिंग्स. एजुकेशन पे है ये. फिर ये हेट स्पीचेस उस टाइम चल रहा था इसीलिए मैंने लिख रखा था. ये मिसलेनियस कुछ डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड वाज वेरी हॉट टॉपिक लास्ट ईयर, सो आई हैव मेड सम नोट्स अराउंड दैट एज वेल. पॉवर्टी वगैरह था, ये सब न्यूज़पेपर में जब आ रहा था तब मैंने स्क्रीनशॉट लेके रख लिया था ताकि ये काम आ जाए ये सारी चीज़ें. और ये IR का डेटा है और इसमें तो कुछ लिखा ही नहीं है, इसमें दिखा रही हूँ IR का. For IR I have made this thing for each and every country. I have made, for example, for international relation, first is the basics from the class notes. Then for each and every country I have made notes. What are the relation of India with India, Bangladesh, Japan, United Nations, what is Quad, what is India's soft power, India's neighborhood, India's extended neighborhood, India's G20 presidency. These notes are my 3 years preparation, so it was from that time. India, Russia, India, Central Asia, India, Nepal, India, Sri Lanka, India, Maldives. For this, like this will come naturally as the things are coming in the news. You also prepare notes for that. India, Bhutan. So last time when I was doing this, it was India, Qatar. This is this is India, Indonesia, India, Kuwait. So this kind of thing, when news as news are coming, you keep adding those things. Similarly, for the GS, I have this thing. I have GS4. I have this thing for the case study. What are the keywords which I can use? What are the in the ethical dilemma? What are the things which we can write? So this small few keywords I have written it. So this is it from my side. If you have any question, we can take that. One thing which I would like to mention is that the journey is definitely hard. I will not sugarcoat it. It requires a lot of efforts. It requires a lot of sacrifices as well. But if one is willing to put in the hard work and with the right guidance, I can vouch that one can definitely clear this exam. Because I come from a very humble background, honestly. I do not have anyone in my home who have done this examination. So it was hard, but with right guidance and the willingness to put in the effort, I believe each and every one of us can clear this examination. Now, if you have any question, I'm able to, I can answer. I think first is that we should prepare some some goals that by this end of this month, we should be able to cover this much topic or this much syllabus, or we should have some goals for the monthly, for the weekly. Now, for the consistency, I believe we should have, if we have some goal in our life and if we have to complete something, I think that pushes us to consistently do the work. So that is one. Apart from that, not just studying, I think once in a week, we should dedicate that 4-5 hours to ourselves to do the things which we like. That will definitely rejuvenate you and will help you do the work next day very easily for the next 4-5 days. I think you will be able to sustain that if you are giving some 4-5 hours to yourself in a weekly basis. So for revising, I think after the, let's say you're doing the foundation course, what you should do in the short term is that whatever is being taught to you, you should read that by the end of the class. So one revision will be done by the day itself, or in a week, let's say you dedicate your time. And then in the second revision should be a week after or a month after. You should keep revising. You should, when you make the target, then let's say by this week, I will be, make a target, let's say there's one topic in the syllabus, urbanization. You make a target that by next week, I will, do this part of the GS1 paper. So that is how you will keep on revising. Make targets, make your revision weekly, monthly, then maybe in 2 months. In that way, you can divide and you can keep on revising it again and again. I think this compression part comes after 4-5 revision. That is not that's what I was about to say actually. It's a very nice question. that whatever notes I have made, it's not a overnight thing. I have revised it multiple times, and whenever I'm revising it again and again, I remove some points also which are not relevant. So that is how we can reduce the bulkiness. And after multiple revision, the size of it automatically compresses, because there are many points which we will be remembering by heart, and only few points which like data or some example that is important, that you can and I think between, as I mentioned, that there is short notes part as well. So those bulky notes, you have to make them crisp, like a 1-page note for each and every topic, so that you can revise a day before the examination. So that will be your final notes. Actually, I also have fear of prelims. So I think for prelims, it is up to the people actually. How, for example, I have a friend who can clear the prelims in just 1 month revision. So, but I was not that person. We need to find our strength, whether we are how we are doing in the prelims examination, because prelims is very important. That is the key to get into to write the mains. That is how we will get the rank. So assess that how you're performing in the prelims. I think you all will be giving your attempt in 2027, first attempt. So you for assessing your strength in the prelims, I think you should read the PYQs, how they are so take any paper, let's say take 2015 paper, solve it in a time period, and then see, download the official key and see how much marks you are scoring. If you are able to score good marks, then you may do 4 papers and understand where you are standing. And if you are not able to assess why you are not able to understand what are the mistakes you are doing, how UPSC is being asking the question, how we can eliminate. There are many tricks we can use in the prelims, like elimination, some intelligent guess. Those are the things which will come if we are regularly practicing. So I think that was my approach towards the prelims. I was also very fearful of it. So I used the PYQs. I did a lot of mock tests, the open mock test which happened. And also I made, when I did the mock test, I made 3 columns. One about what are I was 100% sure. When I was attempting the mock, I was making the mark that this question I'm 100% sure. I made it 100%. This question I'm 50-50 sure. So I have written it there. And this question is an intelligent guess. Now when I'm checking the paper, if I'm 100% sure, that question should be correct. If it is not correct, why it is not correct? That way I assessed all the 3 categories. How many intelligent guesses I'm making are correct, and whether I should be doing that or not. So, and also in the end, you will, when you will be doing some 15, let's say 10-15 mock tests, you will also find your sweet, what I call as sweet spot, the number of questions that one should attempt. For me, it was between 85 to 90. For few, it is full 100 question attempt. Then they are able to clear the cutoff. So you should definitely find that sweet spot. As he mentioned that I was not able to clear the second, I think that was second prelims. I think the one reason was that I attempted just 73 questions. So that I did not assess how many numbers of questions I should attempt. Then my number are going above the cutoff. So that is one thing which I missed in 2024 attempt, which I did very diligently in 2025 attempt. I ensure that I'm attempting between 85 and 90 questions. So that is something which you can also assess for yourself, and then do the questions accordingly in prelims. So grammatical errors are sometimes it shouldn't affect that much, because I believe it won't be that high. But if you are identifying this mistake, I think you should work upon it a bit, so that you reduce your errors. Avni, your question is, I will just read one question, her question as well, so that each and every one of you can also understand the answer. So she's saying that your notes are well structured. So we as a beginner might make, while making the notes, we make what are the few common mistakes we make as beginners while making the notes, and how we can eliminate that. Yeah. So first I will mention her about her question. So this note making is not a one-day process. Again, we definitely, I also made a lot of mistake. My notes were not that well structured. It came after a while, when I understood, after 6 months, I realized that this should be the structuring. This GS1 has this topics which are being asked again and again. This should be my key. These are the areas my key focus are. So I think the mistakes will be eliminated over a period of time. And the mistakes which there will definitely be some common mistakes that you won't be one might not be able to identify what are the keywords, what are the in which topic we should make notes. So that will come when the solution to that, to eliminate this error, we should keep on adding notes, keep on reading it again and again, and then integrating it with the PYQs, integrating it with the analyzing it a bit. So in a while, over a period of time, I think let's say 7-8 months, your notes will also be structured. You will be able to identify what are the areas which UPSC is asking question and in which areas we should be making notes. So this is something which will help. And about you, so my notes were electronic. I also used my Bajiram's note, and then you made those, writed those short things in my iPad. But when for let's say if we are making offline notes, that is a hard copy, we can also structure it in that way. The notes are also, as I mentioned, that teachers also teaches in that pattern only. Sir will teach first disabled, then women, then what are the transgender topic. So in that way, you can also keep on. Initially, I also used to cut the newspaper article and keep in that folder itself. So to segregate it, we can make folders, and then for GS1, there's different folders. In that also, we can make the segregation. For the GS1, these are the social issues part, these are the history part, and accordingly, we can keep making notes like what I have done. You just make a offline folder, that is the hard copy folders, and then segregate it. Yeah, my notes are class notes, newspapers, some magazine, and some other, let's say some PYQs is there. And if I do not have the note, I will add those things. I will first. What was your question? To make notes on newspapers. Yeah. So for the making notes, let's say we are reading. So for Indian Express, there is specific page of explained. Very good articles come in that. So you read it. You find the Supreme Court cases. If there is any article, there are many Supreme Court cases mentioned. You write the case name, you write the year in which, and what are the verdict. What is the verdict? That is how you will these are for the cases. Now let's say you are reading some editorial in the editorial page. There can be one few sentences which you can use in conclusion or introduction. So that is how you have to identify those parts only in the newspaper which can be beneficial for your exam. And that comes when you are analyzing the PYQ. This is again an ongoing process. You may take out things which might not be useful, that you will remove in the later stages when you realize that this point is not useful for the examination. So इसमें revision ऐसा है कि जो चीज़ थोड़ी मैं remove करती जाती थी after when I revised, but लेकिन जो ये चीज़ें हैं इतनी, my notes are, I think I keep on removing the part which was not important. So इसलिए ना ये these are the material which I can revise it between the prelims and mains, and also I can make the short note also out of this. This is the material which is which gives enough time. I think it is according to that time. So while making the notes, you should also keep in mind that it's not don't run after a lot of material. Just see what are the PYQs, what are being asked in the then make notes according to the requirement only. Don't make a lot, because this is infinite. Knowledge is infinite. We cannot run after everything. I can actually share, but I think this is something which will not be beneficial for you. I can help you make the notes if you want. I can help you. So for her question was that how I managed to study along with my college. As I mentioned that in the final year I was studying for this, and I wrote the mains as well. So I think my approach, in my final, are you a college student? Yeah. Okay. Acha. So I think I firmly believe that college studies should be the primary, because that is how we will score good in college, and it's also very important to study what we are doing in the college. That is our graduation subject. We should be thorough with that. And how I did is that I enrolled in the foundation course in 2020. When I was in my course was integrated, 4 BTech plus MTech 5-year program. So when I was in 4th year, I did the foundation course. So I used to spend some 4-5 years for the class, for 4-5 hours for let's say 2.5 hours for the class, and some time for reading the newspaper and reading the notes. So that was my 4th year thing. It was just 4-5 hours per day. In my 5th year, actually in my program, the workload was a bit less. In the 5th year, we just have to do the thesis part. So I increased the time period to 8 hours. I did the news. So you should well, my point is here is that in your college, use you see where you are standing, what is the requirement of your college, and then give some time for the UPSC preparation. do not अपनी कॉलेज पढ़ाई मत खराब करिए, मतलब my point is that, right? Is there any other question? Yeah. Yeah, in interview you have to write what was your score in school, in your 12th, in 10th, in 12th, in your graduation subject.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How much should it be? Like 10, 12, HCM or 10, 6.5, so
I think it does not really matter actually. UPSC is a leveler. So, which background you are, what is your CGPA, what's your 10th performance, it does not matter if. कोई बात नहीं, it does not really matter if you are able to justify yourself in the interview, then it does not matter whether CGPA is correct or good or not. You were saying something? Is there any other question? Yeah, I will just repeat. His question is that whether you made separate note for the prelims or mains. Yeah, for my case, it was different. For prelims, I also have section for prelims. The requirement is actually different. You should have SNT, साइंस एंड टेक का थोड़ा ज़्यादा होता है, उसमें जो ऑब्जेक्टिवली क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं, एनवायरनमेंट के अलग तरीके की चीज़ें पढ़नी होती है हमको, तो उसके एक अलग नोट से जो मेरे करंट अफेयर्स के अकॉर्डिंग उसको मैं अपडेट भी करती रहती थी, और प्रीलिम्स के मेरे कुछ टॉपिक्स के लिए एक अलग नोट से जो मेंस के लिए यूजफुल नहीं थे. सो थोड़े पार्ट ओवरलैप भी थे एंड द फ्यू पार्ट वर डिफरेंट एज वेल. फॉर मेंस के लिए वी डू नॉट हैव टू स्टडी अ लॉट फॉर प्रीलिम्स वी डू नॉट हैव टू स्टडी अ लॉट ऑफ एनरिचमेंट पॉइंट, वो सब करके क्या करेंगे. सो दैट दोज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स आर डिफरेंट फॉर मेंस, एंड for prelims it is different. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I think AI is very beneficial. I also used it extensively because उसको पढ़ो, उससे notes निकाल लो, and फिर उसको समझ के अपना लिखोगे तो I think that will be very beneficial. I will take 1-2 questions from online. So one question is that do you think Topper's notes available on Amazon are good to go through once, or just we rely on standard books and Vajiram study content? So I think we can, the base should be it's Keshu Pathak. The base should be the Vajiram notes, your class note should be the base. And you can, breeze through Topper's copies so to see how they are writing the answer. So it should be amalgamation. I think we can go through these things available once. But after that, we should not, keep on collecting the material. We should make our own material, some basic material, very small, which we will be using throughout our journey. Decide those materials. Don't go after here and there with a lot of Topper. There are a lot of Topper notes in the market. I can also share mine. But, use few which you are finding, with which you are resonating, and then make your own notes. So for answer writing, it's very important. So start wherever you are standing. Let's say whatever topic is being taught today, over the weekend, read the PYQ, what are being asked in that topic, and then start one answer, right? Start with any one. Use your notes only to read your notes, write an answer. Now go to the internet and see for various model answers, and see what are the mistakes, whether you are able to, answer what the question is asking and what are you answering. There's sometimes mismatch also. The question is asking something else and the student is writing something else. That will not give you marks. The examiner will not give marks for something which is not being answered. So you do that, and then, while reading the model answer, see if there is any point missing in your answer. And if it is missing, add that in your notes. And if it is already in their notes, then see why were you not able to write that point in your answer. So that is how you write the same answer over a period of time, multiple times, and that is how you will be able to, come to a good answer. And then after that, you can also use your discretion that instead of this conclusion, maybe this editorial had a better conclusion, I can write this. Or maybe some quote, something being said by the Prime Minister, something being said by some famous personality. Those kind of things you can always write. I just wrote the PYQ in internet, and I used anyone from the sites available. It was not any specific, No, I did not refer to any book. For the PYQ, I referred to online material only. The best thing I would suggest is you go to the UPSC site, download their paper only. They're available for the past 10 years. So, yeah, topic-wise, that is definitely available in a lot of sites. For the topic-wise compilation, use any. There's no, they're almost similar. Yeah. So first is see what are the notes which sir is teaching. What are the things? What are the basics of IR he is teaching? Now, as things are going on, let's say the prime minister is going to some country. There's one article in the newspaper that becomes important country both for the prelims as well and mains as well. So again, for let's say the country in the topic, let's say Saudi Arabia, something has happened. Where India's relations with India's relations. Now in the article, whatever they are telling you, just take out few points. Let's say there's some agreement being signed between the two countries. Write that. If there is any other common platform which two countries are in, add that. And over a period of time, let's say after 6 months, that country is again in the news. You will add something again. I will take one more question and then we'll wrap up. I also mentioned to her as well that you make your goal. So first revision is happening along with the class. You are doing class today. Now in a week or so you will read whatever is being taught in the class. Now make goal that in the next month I will again read. I will revisit whatever being taught in that topic, and then after a period of time you again revisit. So make it like a target after a period of time that I will again come to GS1 this topic, read it again. So this is how you will be able to revise it 3-4 times. And between prelims and mains, you have to revise everything. So there is, you can divide the 80 days or the whatever 80 or 90 days period, that in the first 40 days, let's say for the first 5 days or 10 days, I'll do GS1. For the next 10 days, I'll do GS2. In let's say 1.5, let's say 40 days, you are able to do all the GS1, 2, 3, 4. Now the next 40 days, you should be able to revise it again. So this is how you make targets. You see how fast you're revising, what is your standing, and then make targets and then do the multiple revision. Yeah, interview experience. So interviews is a very different ball game. It requires to study about what we are writing in the DAF we will be asking where we are from, what is our school. Let's say there's a keyword about my school. My school was Kendriya Vidyalaya, so it becomes a question. You should prepare for that. And the activities which you did in college, I was part of NSS that I have written. I was part of NCC also in college. So this kind of things you write and then you prepare accordingly. What was your approach?
Was making sure that whenever there is chaos and
Yeah. For the retention part, as in like revising it multiple times. So first about so when we are reading the newspaper or the current affairs magazine which we are referring, we are taking out the material which is important for our examination. Now for the retention part, again, when we are revising it again and again, few things will become very in our mind as well. It will be retained in our mind when we are revising it again and again. This is, as I mentioned, that you revise it in a week, then in a month, then after 2 months, and then between prelims and mains you can revise twice or thrice. So that is how you do the retention. And if few things which we are not able to retain, that comes in our short notes that we will read just before the exam, so that it's it's fresh in our mind the next day. We'll take one last question and then we'll wrap up. In my first attempt, I had left some topic. That is why my marks were a bit less. But I think I did not leave. In my third attempt, I did not leave any topic untouched. So I think because this leaving a topic is very this is competition. Everyone, if you are leaving something, someone else is reading that, and they will get edge over you. So I think we cannot leave any topic. If there is any topic you find that it's not highly, let's say there's some topic, उससे question ज़्यादा नहीं आ रहे, तो read it to some extent. Let's say PYQs ही देख के चले गए, तो but छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए. I think that is actually very important. So when we are preparing, we often come across that you should not prepare for this examination, or some negativity around here and there. We also sometimes fear the buzzword around the FOMO, that all of our friends are placed and they're earning, and what we are doing is study. So I think here comes your why you started this preparation. That will be your guiding force here. So think about that, why you started, and then leave everything, so I think that is how we can stay motivated. Thank you.